So I'm using French ultramarine blue, hardly any water in it, with some burnt sienna. Okay, making a very dark, almost black colour, and I need plenty of this, and I need it thick. Okay, so plenty of this, and burnt sienna. And that's what we're going to put on the top of the rocks before we scrape them out. So we've just got to wait and let this dry, and then we can do the rocks, take out this and put a little bit of grass in, and then that's that picture done. We'll put a few little bits of white gouache in here for the ripples on the water. Okay, I'll see you in a bit as soon as that's dry. Thank you. Right, welcome back. It should be dry enough now to use. So I'm going to get the brush with this really thick paint, and I'm just going to dab this all over the rock area. Okay, like that. Okay. And then this little area here as well. That way there, a bit there. Okay. Clean that brush. I'm going to get a little piece of card, which we've used before. The corner bit there, so, and it's very flexible. You can use palette knife or some other, utensil you might come across. You can use the edge of a paint tube, anything to hand if you haven't got anything like this, but this is usually the most common. Okay, so I'm going to start at this end and work my way this way so that I don't, put more paint back on there. So what you do is you start and pull it like that, and then I might have one there. Put one there, shall we? A little one there. Have a little bit of cloth or tissue to keep wiping the card. Like that. Leave some of the darker areas in as well, because that gives you the shadows between the rocks. And just put some little areas like that, some little, as well as the bigger ones. There. Like that. Get a little one there. Like that. And there we go. Got that bit there, so put a little bit there. Okay. There you go. And if you look carefully with the texture, all the colours that you put on underneath will start to come through as well. So then we've got this last bit of area here. And that just puts a few little rocks on the edge of the water there. Okay. So then we've got to let that dry. And then we can remove the masking fluid that we've still got on here. And then using this, the yellow and the green, we can put a few bits of colour in there as well, so it corresponds with the colour on that side as well. Now then, I'm just going to show you with white gouache, which is similar to watercolour, except that it's an opaque. It's used in the same way. You mix it with water, but it's an opaque colour. So I don't put it in my palette normally. I'm just going to put it on the side here. Okay, and you don't dilute this very much either, because it doesn't, otherwise it won't dry very white. So all I'm going to do is with a thin brush, and I'm putting it vertically. I'm just going to scrape in a few, so around these rocks here, just a few very horizontal lines, just to add in a little bit of sort of ripple effect where the water is probably going to come off. And it obviously shows up more on a darker surface than it would on a light surface. So just here and there, just some little horizontal lines of water, make it look like there's some ripples coming out. Do a few up here. So we've got some darker patches in there. Just put a few bits of white there. It just gives you that little bit of glisten on the water's edge. Okay. And then also what you can do is using, if you've got some of these darker sea colours, the blues and whatever you left, you want to put a few darker, very thin ripple lines. Now up at the top, at the horizon section, they're going to be closer together, thinner and closer together. Okay, that. Across here and put a few in. And then as you come further down, they're going to get wider apart, so they're more spaced out. So that gives you the more natural effect of water. And there you go. Okay, so we're just going to wait for these, and then once this is done, we just put in the little bits of greenery or grass that's growing through the rocks there, and that's it really. So I might just put a little bit of a, I'm going to put a bird I think in the sky, very tiny little. There we go. Always as well, if you're putting birds or anything like that in the sky, always make it an odd number, not an even number. And also, don't forget to put them in perspective. You don't want great big eagles in the sky, you just want some little birds like that. Right, so just let that dry and then we'll come back to it, do these little finishing touches and then go through exactly what we've done. Okay, thank you very much. Hello, welcome back. Right then, so I'm just going to use this rubber thing again and I'm just going to take off bits of masking fluid that we put on around the rocks. Okay, so it sticks to it. There we go, lift it off carefully. Okay, and this time I'm going to use, right, so I've got the lemon yellow. Okay, and just fill in some of this masking, bits of bit of masking that we put there just for the, make it look like bits of something is growing actually on the rocks. Okay, so put the lemon yellow on and then put some of the green as well, so might as well put a little bit of the green on. Sort of bed them into the rocks if you can. There we go. So it gives them a bit more of a, instead of a flat look, they do have a little bit of a three-dimensional look about them. Okay. You can add some of the darker colour to okay, there we go. Right. And I think that is about it. Don't think there's much else that we can add to it. Just let's have a quick look. Let's stand back, have a look at it. Right, I'm just going to get my craft knife. I might do here. Just gently scratch out a little bit of, but very careful because you don't want to damage your paper too much. Across here on the top, just scrape gently what you can get is some little glistening bits in the water there, in the reflections. Okay, just there. So you could do this instead of the gouache if you wanted, or you could do it with the gouache like I've done here. Do it on its own. Okay. Be careful, you don't want to scrape off too much. It just gives it that little bit of, makes it look like it's a bit of water glistening. Just give it a good, and there we go. So if you can zoom in, if we can zoom in a little bit and see the effects on the rocks there. So we've got all the different colours coming through. Same here, you've got what looks like mud effects. I have put a few little boulders on there as well. And you can see the scraping out on the sea there. So let's just take the tape off very carefully. Again, just pull it gently away from the picture, like that. Okay, look at that. On this side, so gently in the opposite direction. There we go. Down this bottom area here. There we go there. And last but not least, across the top, gently as we go. Okay, there we go. There we have a nice framed project. There you go. So let's zoom back out. There we go. And you can see I've taken the mount off, so now you can see there. We've got a nice little project, and it just shows all these reflections in the water there. And up there as well, so you've got the reflections of the trees and the reflections of the mounts. And as I say, that is how you get some reflections in water. There are other ways of doing reflections, like with zigzags for tree stumps or for the fence posts, but this is just one gentle way of doing it wet in wet. I hope you've enjoyed the project. It will be posted on my website and on my YouTube channel. If you've got any questions whatsoever, you can just email me or text me. Comments are welcome. And as I say, I am new to this, but I'm hoping that I can pass on some of my experience to the beginners, and I hope you start enjoying watercolour painting. Okay, that's it for now, and I'll see you on the next project. Thank you. Bye.